Good morning, everybody. How we doing
Morning.
today? I always steal your line on Monday
That's
mornings. I
okay.
don't
Yeah.
know why. It's just I'm
Just
having a good day.
yeah. It's a nice, fun, frigid morning in the Midwest.
Oh yeah,
Kevin here.
Joe.
Uh,
Yeah, we're freezing,
yeah.
so bear with us.
Right.
There's a fire in the corner. I'm kidding. There's no fire over here. But no, it's Schitt's Creek. We're gonna start our Monday off with Schitt's Creek today.
Always do. Always a great way to start the week.
And we're in the final season now, and
Winding down. We're halfway through the last season.
I know.
Really sad. We only have a few episodes left.
It bums me out. We're still looking for a
Yeah.
replacement show, guys. Still, we need to narrow it down what we're gonna pick to replace Schitt's Creek.
We were literally talking about half a dozen shows right before we started recording, still as possibilities.
Well, we still have some time because
Right. Yeah. We still have
and then we want to
6
do
weeks left.
some of the Dan Levy, Catherine O'Hara movies after that.
absolutely.
So we'll have a few weeks. But no, the last episode of Schitt's Creek, um, it was a great episode. There were some dilemmas they were facing in that episode, I would say.
For sure. Absolutely.
More so David and Patrick. I mean, Alexis and Ted. We're looking at maybe the end of that again.
Yeah.
As far as like Moira and Johnny goes, I really like where Moira's at. I really like the fact that she's kind of a celebrity again.
Yeah, that's really cool. And the fun thing about that is we spent the whole show having Moira as a diva who's not really a star anymore.
Yeah.
And kind of wrestling with that. But we've never really gotten to see Moira as a diva and a star.
Yeah.
And I'm very much looking forward to that idea of Moira not only like feeling like she's the center of attention,
Sure.
and kind of that share kind of big personality, but actually having like the swaths of fans and the media attention reinforcing that sounds like a really good time.
I feel like at this point in her career, she'd get picked up by like a VH1 show. You know what I mean? Like it wouldn't be like Celebrity Rehab or anything like that, but she'd be like on some kind of like housewife show or something.
Well, the fun thing about it is with the show is you can go anywhere with it at this point. When you have a former star who kind of starts reemerging as a star, the things that they will do, the reality TV shows they will go on, the movies they will make, the cameos they will do, the products they'll start to sell. It kind of becomes an amazing exercise. It's like when Celebrity Rehab. Remember that show?
Yes, I do.
Was that VH1?
It was VH1.
Where
MTV or VH1?
Yeah, it was one of the two. And they would always have celebrities on. They're like, I totally forgot you were a thing. And some of them were even like actually
surprisingly like Tom Sizemore's on this,
right? Well, some of them weren't actually even addicts. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They were just celebrities. Like I remember Rodney King was on there once, and it was like
what?
And Rodney's like, yeah, I drink sometimes. He wasn't. And I was like, what? I thought this was supposed to be like rehab for like serious drug and alcohol problems.
No, Rodney needed a paycheck.
right. Gary Busey was famously on one of the seasons. I don't know if he had a drug or alcohol problem.
I would be surprised.
I know he had bigger issues.
Brain damage.
Yeah, right. I think we can go a lot of different directions with Moira, and I kind of can't wait to see what they are. And along with that, we got Alexis's kind of rise to fame as well as a very talented publicist.
Yeah.
And I feel like we're starting to see the cracks in the future for Ted and Alexis.
Sure.
Not because either one of them is doing anything wrong, not because they don't care about each other or falling out of love, but because their lives are just on a completely different trajectories. You know what I mean?
I'd say so. They're in two different places for sure.
Completely, right?
Literally, and
right, yeah. Just in terms of what they envision for their lives.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I mean, Ted's supportive of her. They both obviously love each other. It's not one-sided like it was before.
Sure, absolutely.
And I think they can actually come away from the relationship this time with actually having learned something and they're more grown now, I would say.
Right. Yeah. I've absolutely adored Alexis's journey, probably more than anybody on the show, just personally, right?
Yeah, I think
like
so,
I've always felt like David was, while he's selfish, and that's kind of the fun of the show, is he was also always just a naturally empathetic person.
Yes.
I always thought like he was the first one to get a job and make friends when they moved to town.
Yeah.
I feel like David was the one guy who was like, okay, how do I make this work a little bit?
It was kind of his story too.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
But I feel like the biggest growth has been with Alexis.
She's way different now.
Because she was never a bad person, but she was aloof, right? Yes. She was vapid, and kind of self-centered because
always talking about her boyfriends.
Yeah, it was just because she got to have the world revolve around her because for most of her life it kind of did. She was kind of the star of her own show. As people like to say. Yeah, exactly. And she's come so far since then that she's such a conscientious, caring person. She's perceptive. She's thoughtful. I absolutely love what she's become. Just how she handled the whole bridesmaid thing with Stevie.
I think so too. I want to see going forward if there's in the limited amount of time we have left in the show, if we get to see how they're handling their newfound success,
Sure,
compared to how they would have before.
Oh, completely. I think all four of them are successful in different ways.
Yeah.
When you look at when they first got to Schitt's Creek, where all four of them have accomplished so much since then.
Nothing. They
Personally,
didn't have a car when they
personally and professionally, all four of them have really grown, and I love that those were kind of in tandem for them. It's not just about getting money back, right, or status back.
Sure.
It's about becoming better people and being able to earn that those kind of things and that kind of respect back.
And I also forget that they own the town.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
they haven't brought that up since like season 2.
That's what I'm saying. Right. They are the owners of the town.
Right. All right. We're going to be jumping in here, guys. We do want a lot of people because, good place. We do want to welcome Andrew Hansen, Sarah T, Olivia Ballard, MJ, Jeff, All Mankind, Simon Rogers, Parkness, Eve Andriadis. I'm sorry, my handwriting was really bad on this one. Hey, it's Air, and Funquake Sunday. That sounds nice. Welcome, guys. We're very, very happy here on Patreon with us.
We really are. You guys are awesome. And if you're watching us on YouTube for the first time, welcome to our channel.
Hey.
If you don't mind the like button for us, leave us a comment down below and hit that subscribe button so you can stay up to date on the new content we've coming your way.
Yeah, and if you'd like to see a flowing through reaction to this or anything else that we're watching, or if you want me to sponsor Powerade Zero, please check out a link in the description below to our Patreon page. You will find full links, reactions to everything we've got there. We're at least 4 episodes ahead on all shows that we're watching, including Schitt's Creek. So if you get done with this on YouTube and want to jump over there and check it out, that's a good place to do it. You will need to sync and watch along on your own device or streaming service. You'll just see and hear these two. For copyright purposes, we are also currently watching 30 Rock as a Patreon exclusive.
Yes.
All right.
So that is called a bunt. It's tactical. It allows
It's
the guy
nice
first
of David
to,
to be trying because he does not
Who
care
came up
about
with the
this
word
at all.
bunt?
Yeah.
David, this is an important game. You told me you could get into this.
I was referring to the pizza, but also the game.
Whatever televised sporting event is unfolding for the remainder of the day.
Alas, this is Patrick's Day.
It turns out Herbert Linger, the great fruit vintner, is a rabid fan of the Crows movie. Could like to name a wine after me.
Moira
should
Rose.
call it
I'm so glad
a
that he's
Moira
back.
Rose.
Yes, that's what he has in mind.
Seems like a very important moment in your life. I only wish I could be there.
I can't go alone.
You
More
guys might
pizza
want
for
to
Patrick.
rehearse a little more next time. The extraction did feel a bit strained.
That was you.
No, I get it.
What's really funny is that she pronounced his name differently than the first season.
Herbert Linger.
Herbert Linger instead of Herblinger, which means she doesn't even know his name. That's pretty awesome.
There are my fierce women ready to elevate their lives. I'm so glad you decided to come today. Well, you pushed pretty hard for it,
It's like a
Alexis.
spin class.
It looks like a cult.
It does.
Are you ready for a total physical and emotional transformation?
Nah, but I'll do your class.
It's wonderful to see all these new recruits you brought for us today.
It is a cult,
Leadership
isn't
is
it?
thrilled with
Yeah.
all of your hard work. I should also tell you that he has been very impressed with all of the work you've done for us these past few weeks.
I'm sorry, who's he?
You keep this up, you'll find out soon enough.
Oh no.
It is a cult.
Yeah.
We are ascending, not
Hey, don't drink the Kool-Aid.
All
Yeah,
our troubles,
right.
all our worries, we're going to elevate.
Right.
Yeah.
Patrick's sitting in there all by himself?
Yes, I'm aware. He's spending the night with us. Patrick is practically family now. I haven't exactly said
So
it out
Roll's going to
loud.
make this awkward
Yeah.
between
Yeah.
these two guys, right?
Not having the big father-son-in-law chat feels like a missed opportunity.
That's going to eat at him, and he's going to go try to have an awkward talk with Patrick, isn't he?
Hey, bygones be bygones about the TV spot. At least the print ad worked out. Pretty hard to mess up one of those.
Clearly you haven't seen the heartburn ads she shot with Ann Geddes.
Love to make our Moira Rose
This is really cool, though. I
Yeah.
like this
an
little winery.
exclusive
It
and
is
limited
cool,
release.
isn't it?
This is what we're thinking for the label. There's the strawberry peach, the ground fruits blend, and a lovely banana rosé.
None of those sound good.
A banana rosé.
No.
We are so thrilled to have you
But
here.
you're right. The place looks
Moira.
really cool.
It does, yeah.
Enjoy.
Thank you so much.
Oh, I had my reservations about banana.
That's the strawberry peach. These are terrible.
Well, we have to pick one, David.
Do we? You really want people associating your name with this laundry detergent?
I was going to say hello. I didn't want to interrupt.
No, not at all. I'm just watching the game. Hey, do you want some pizza?
Speaking of great combinations, you and Dave.
Oh!
Did we get another hit?
That's the other team, unfortunately.
No, we can talk about this later. It doesn't really matter. Fellas!
Yes, push past those demons, leave it all behind you as we ascend to the gateway. I want to see all of you signing up for that gateway. Good work.
It will definitely
I feel amazing.
be Twyla.
Yeah.
Does anybody even know what the gateway is? I think it's pretty obvious.
Is it? Yeah.
Is the gateway like a symbol for something, or is it like an actual gateway?
Oh, it's a symbol, but it's also a literal gateway into the sky.
Here we go.
Gotcha.
So Alexis has joined a cult that she's recruiting. Yeah.
I'm just gonna go and destroy
Social?
this
Yeah.
right now because I get the creeping suspicion that this place is like not okay.
They're almost sold out of the Nocturnal Affirmation cassette tapes. So
Why?
now I just need to buy one of their cassette players.
Wait, this is a cult. I brought you to a cult.
Oh my gosh, did you not know that? My mom tried to take me to the gateway for spring break one year.
I've just been so desperate to like throw myself into work, and I clearly missed all the signs, and now I've like endangered all of us.
An emergency exit in the change room.
Yes, 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 yes.
Okay, you know what? I'm making a blend.
Yes, make us a nice
Blend?
Moira Low or a Moira Rosling. Hey, not
They're trying to
too
get the combination
effusive,
down?
but I'd call that one potable.
I have had worse things in my mouth.
You and Patrick are two good grapes.
Grapes in the wine you're drinking.
There's banana, but there's no grapes in.
There's absolutely no doubt that your relationship with Patrick is going to get even better with age.
Wine
I
sucks.
hope we've landed on something because all I have left is this cherry ice wine, and I think it might be corked.
No, that's not the one we picked. That's not the one we picked.
Well, let's retrace our steps.
It goes without saying that as lucky as I feel to have met David, I also feel incredibly lucky to be joining your family. I love your son. And I will always do everything I can to respect him.
Well, we got him a little bit.
Yeah.
Pretty much covers it. You just said you would, and of course, I already knew it.
I'm glad we had this talk, Mr. Rose.
Me too. Me too.
It's really sweet.
It was this one?
Let me just triple check.
We'll check. They're wasted.
No.
Maybe we just call this off. The wife and I had reservations at the Elmdale Inn an hour ago. I took the liberty of calling your husband, Moira, because somebody has to drive you two home, and it's certainly not going to be me. Between the two of them, they could not find a single wine they were willing to put Moira's name on.
How was your class, Alexis?
It was a big success. Thank you for asking. Everyone had a great time.
I wonder if that means they'll give you priority boarding when you enter the gateway.
Oh my God, Stevie did this, didn't she?
Hey, I like sleepovers. Anyone think I might like a sleepover?
Ew, ew. Hey, stop.
Yeah, it's a very tiny bed.
Yeah. Twin beds for all four of them. That was fun.
I'm glad we got to finally meet Eblinger.
Yeah, drunk Moira is always a great time. Catherine O'Hara should do roles where she's just drunk more often because she just
love that.
she crushes it. She did it in the first season with Erblinger, where she couldn't set the wine glass down to grab it. I thought it was the funniest episode of season one.
Oh, for sure, it was the best one. Yeah,
and it's nice to get that call back. You know, it's nice to bring Herb back. It's nice to get her and her getting drunk with her son. And I thought we had some really good bonding moments that we haven't gotten with characters for a while, right?
Oh, sure.
We've had episodes where Moira and David kind of bond because they always kind of felt closer than the Moira and Alexis. But it's been a while, right? That we got this. And them kind of drinking together, being a little more vulnerable at a completely different stage of their lives was nice. And obviously, Patrick and Johnny, my God, my brain shut off there again. Getting them together. Obviously, it's awkward because they haven't had that kind of relationship. Like, hey, the two of us have kind of known each other and been friendly because of our son or my son. Now we're going to try to have a serious conversation. And man, to try to turn that on, it is awkward. It's awkward for anybody, right? It's awkward when you're like friends with somebody and you start dating them, and it's like, okay, well, I've hung out with you for a year at work or as friends or whatever. Now that we're dating, So now it's like, so now we've got to have a completely different style of conversation that we've never touched these waters before. And you just knew it was going to be super awkward when they tried.
I just love for as successful of a businessman that Johnny was and is, it's like he just can't talk to people sometimes, you know?
Right. I mean, he's so friendly and jovial. You know, I've never been mad at Johnny, even when he's been in the wrong.
Yeah.
Because he's so well intended and sincere.
He is.
Even when he's being dishonest. So you know, it's always like when he had them get rid of the flowers and had, because of the poison oak that he brought in.
Yeah,
and he didn't want Patrick to find out that it was his fault.
Yeah.
and that he didn't need to cancel all of his accounts or the account with the provider on that one. He's like, boy, you're gonna laugh at this. It's like at no point do you ever feel like Johnny sucks.
He's got that shucks about him.
He does, and again, it's really sincere. And I'm not saying you feel like, oh, that person sucks, a lot, but like you've watched Parks and Rec, right? There are episodes in there. I love the show where every once in a while one of the characters are like, "You're one of the main characters on the show, and right now you are so unreasonable."
Tom,
Tom sometimes, Leslie sometimes, and sometimes, and it's just like sometimes even Ron sometimes.
You're like, I can't
hang out with you right now because you're being that unreasonable. But Johnny's never there, right? Johnny's just always a guy you like.
I'm really surprised that's the case. We're in season 6, and it's like. He's never been.
He's gone through so much, and he's and he's really struggled with a lot of things. He was the last person to find any kind of success in the town.
Yeah, he was
right?
the last person, wasn't he? Yeah.
And somehow, the great writing and the perfect acting of Eugene Levy, you never get down on the guy. You're always pulling for.
You're always rooting for Johnny.
You always, So, he's the one person that you're just like never like, come on, man, you're being super unreasonable.
It's obviously all their show, but we made the distinction earlier that like it kind of feels like Patrick's show, or I'm sorry, David's show, right? Or Alexis's show, but really it's like, I mean, Johnny's the patriarch of the whole family.
Yeah, he is,
and he really just kind of grabbed it by the reins this episode. It was really nice to see that.
It was, and of course it was Roland who kind of planted the seed that like you knew this wasn't going to go well, but you're right, you called it at the time. It's not the worst idea that these guys have like a real talk.
It should be natural,
it should be natural.
Organic,
that was very forced and inorganic. I'll have some za line was was just so uncomfortable, right?
Yeah. Oh man,
I know the word gets overused, but pretty cringy,
Very cringe. I like it when it's done like this.
Sure.
Sometimes you can't watch it like we did Marvelous Miss Maisel. And we could not watch that stage episode where she's on stage performing Miss Julie.
Yeah, so what's her name?
Sophie Lennon.
Couldn't
watch it. We were like, oh my god, this is so hard to watch. Like watching it through your fingers, But this was just nice.
Yeah,
and I did really enjoy the David and Moira wine tasting bit because it was funny, but at the same time, it was crescendo to the very sweet moment. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
Which, by the way, if you have an opportunity to go wine tasting with your mom, do it. I did it last Mother's Day. It was fantastic.
I've never gone wine tasting with my mom.
We did a lot of rosé. It was summertime, so what are you gonna do?
All right. Well, this was a great episode. We still don't really know what we're heading towards for the end of the show, do we? Like how everybody ends up.
I have no idea.
No clue.
Only thing we're anticipating is a wedding and maybe a breakup between Ted and Alexis. That's really it. I mean, they're not really making any hints or notioning towards that they're going to leave the town at all.
I think at least some of them will leave the town. And here's what I think. This is just with half a dozen episodes or so left.
Okay.
I think Alexis is going to leave the town. And there's a real chance that Moira's going to leave. And by extension, Johnny's going to go with her. Because her career might be taking off. Now, maybe our resolution from Moira is, I don't need to go back and do all of this, right? I don't need to move to L.A. or New York.
Just go shoot there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
She doesn't have to. But I think if anyone I feel like is for sure going to leave, it's going to be Alexis. Mm-hmm. And I feel like if anyone for sure is going to stay, it's going to be David because he's actually building a life in the town.
Oh, he's dug in.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Yeah. He's got a business. He's getting married to a local man. Mm-hmm. I don't know that it makes a lot of sense. Like, I can't see David saying let's move to LA, and Patrick saying great, let's go to LA. You know what I mean? Or wherever they might go.
I can, but I can't. Yeah, right. I mean, it's like Rosa I can't ever say the name.
Rose Apothecary.
Rose Apothecary feels like a store you'd see in LA.
Sure, it does.
That's probably the joke of it. Yeah,
right.
But there's so many of them there,
right?
Of those kinds of stores to where like it might not work out,
right?
You know? So,
I mean, it's not. That's not to say they can't move, but I do feel like you're right. David is the one really kind of built foundations in the town.
Yeah, exactly.
Johnny has a little bit too with the motel, but
they're expanding.
And
he doesn't
right?
have to be there every day,
right?
If he has a good hotel chain going. You know?
Sure. I mean, there's a possibility that he runs it, and from somewhere else, and he's got
Roland
Stevie and Roland, with kind of the boots on the ground,
yeah.
Exactly. If it becomes a bigger success, I'm not sure how big, but you got two.
He's got 2 hotels, yeah. Or motels, I guess.
Yeah.
But
right. Obviously, we'll get to see in the near future, won't we?
Yeah.
We'll catch you next one, guys.
See ya.